Hello, how are you doing today? And today's lesson comes from Mohammed Fawaz and Latifa Bagal. Hi, the two of you. And they asked me to upload a video on how to write an essay based on setbooks. And in this lesson, we are going to learn about how to write an effective or a good essay based on setbook. So you want to stick around to the end of this video to learn more. And if you're not yet subscribed, please click to the subscribe button to support my channel, and I'll appreciate so much. Let us start with the structure of an essay, and it has three main parts, and that is the introduction, content, and the conclusion. The introduction usually carries 2 marks, the body 12 marks, and the conclusion 2 marks, adding up to 16. So the other marks will be for your grammar. If you don't know how to write an introduction, I have uploaded a video on how to write an introduction and how to write a conclusion. The link on that is in the description box, so you want to check that. Let us go to today's questions. Women are their own worst enemies. Support this with illustrations from Blossoms of the Savannah. First part of that thing, we are going to have our introduction, and to write an introduction we have to interpret the question, and it is from that question that we are going to get the introduction. In this case, we are going to use the textual introduction, and we are going to introduce our work according to the text. Our introduction should be short. We should not mention any content, and we should include the name of the book and the introduction. It has to be written in the right way. This is the introduction that I got for that topic. In Blossoms of the Savannah, some women contributed to the suffering of their fellow women in one way or another. This is in the room, Olaringo's mother and Mama Milanoi. So that is enough for your introduction. Make it short, straight to the point. Don't mention anything to do with the content, and you're good to get your 2 marks. Now we are going to the content of our question. In the body you have only 4 points which are explained in details. Let us start with the first character, Olaringo's mother. And Olaringo's mother is seen as an enemy to Resian. You see, when Resian escaped from her father, she landed at Olaringo's homestead, whereby she met Olaringo's mother. And we see that Olaringo's mother, being a woman, instead of helping Resian, she tortured her. And she wanted Resian to be circumcised before marrying her son Olarinkoi. We also have Mama Milanoi, and Mama Milanoi can be seen as an enemy to both her daughters, or her 2 daughters, because she led to their suffering in one way or another. So let us begin with the Resian. All along, Mama Milanoi knew Olekailo's plan about having Resian circumcised before marrying Oloisudori, but she never did something about it. Instead, she had to side with the husband. And this led Resian to run away from their home to avoid the two. And it is in that process that she landed at Olarinkoi's homestead, who tortured her both physically and psychologically. Therefore, this makes, we see that Mama Milano, who is a woman, led to the suffering of her own daughter. This leads us to our third point about the 3 women from a Soit village, and they worked together with Mama Milanoi. They had to lie to Tayo that Resian is sick and she needed to see her sister. She could not eat for days because she only needed to see Tayo. They had to go and circumcise Tayo against her wishes. And this led to Tayo suffering both physically because of the cut and emotionally because she never wanted to be circumcised. Lastly, we have the 3 blind mice. Their names are actually hard, so I'm going to refer to my notes. So the 3 blind mice, they collaborated with the men to oppress the women of Nasila. And we learned this from Tayo. She had composed a song to criticize them. And the 3 blind mice we had there, we have the Enkamuratani, and the function of Enkamuratani was to circumcise girls. And we also have Enkasakutoni, and the Enkasakutoni threatened to cast Intoye Nemengalana and ensured that they did not get husbands or children. And lastly, we have the Enkaituyoni, and the Enkaituyoni is the midwife in this case, and he threatened to spy on young women when they gave birth to ensure that they are circumcised. So you could not avoid the cut because of the 3 women. And a bonus point, we see that women are the one who started the circumcision thing from the story within a story about the legendary Olarinkol. So if they are the one, if they want to stop it, they are the one who can do that. And we see that the Enkamuratani is not a man, the Enkamuratani is a woman. So if this woman refused to play that role, then circumcision is going to end. You go to the conclusion after you have explained your 4 points very well. Now you have to choose a topic sentence. In our next lesson, I'm going to teach you how to choose a topic sentence and so on. So in the conclusion, there are 2 ways of concluding your work. One is by summarizing, or you can also give your opinion. Let's conclude the 4 statements or our essay now. This is what I got. Through Mama Milanoi, Olarinkoi's mother, and the 3 blind mice, we can therefore conclude that the division among women in Nasila led to the suffering of the girl child both physically and emotionally. Alternative conclusion: if women in Nasila could unite and work as a team, that is Enkamuratani to refuse playing her role, it will be easy to fight the obnoxious culture that contributed to the suffering of the girl child. That is an alternative conclusion. Going to the last part of this, that is what to avoid when writing an essay that can cost you some marks. Things that you're supposed to avoid: when you have definition of terms, especially when it comes to the introduction, you don't have to define any term. Number 2, when it comes to the content, avoid narration. And in narration is whereby you're narrating a story the way it's going. Olarinkoi came from here, he lied to Resian at the river that he's going to take her to Emakerere. Then they went to hide somewhere, something like that. You're not supposed to narrate a story, that is. And next, you're not supposed to use the subheadings. Like you're writing about Olarinkoi and then you're adding, you're underlining your word. That is very wrong. You're supposed to write in continuous prose or in form of a paragraph. The obvious one that you know, you're not supposed to number your paragraphs. They are never supposed to be numbered. And that is the end of our lesson today. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate so much. Bye bye and God bless you.